preps to pros and everything in between. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yow.
Welcome into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow, Mo Patton, JP Plant on the controls, Andrew Moore in the house. Glad to see you again. Hope you had fun last Friday on First Friday. Always a blast. He's not on, man. Golly, it's always a blast, isn't it?
It's something.
Hey,
I'll just tell you that.
Does First Friday ever get wild? I mean, how late does it go typically?
The latest I've ever walked out of a First Friday is about 3 o'clock on Saturday morning.
goodness gracious. Okay, I ain't trying to.
Columbia kicking it. All right.
I didn't know. We should have hung out. After.
Yeah, we could have went.
Oh man,
Would have certainly made those game stories a little more interesting.
You never know. You never know what you're gonna get. Oh man, hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday. I know I am. I am excited about tonight. High school football, round 2 of the TSSAA playoffs start tonight, and it's going to be a blast. We've got a huge weekend ahead of us with college football and the Tennessee Titans, as well as the Nashville Predators. Memphis Grizzlies got a big weekend too. They got a couple of games back to back, so it's going to be a fantastic weekend of sports in Tennessee. College hoops has already started. Got a couple of those going on. Got a lot to talk about today. So we're going to get right into it. But before we give you our top stories, we have to tell you yesterday's results, today's schedule, or this weekend's schedule, on the rundown.
This is the Rundown. The Friday Rundown is brought to you by Chip Walters of Exit Realty, Bob Lamb and Associates. The voice of the Blue Raiders also wants to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Contact Chip at 615-542-1915 or through his website at choosechip.net. Chip Walters, proud to support local youth sports in Southern Middle Tennessee.
In Thursday high school bowling action, Columbia Academy defeated Franklin Road Academy 18-5. In NHL action on Thursday, the Predators stayed hot with a 4-3 win over the St. Louis Blues. Shocker from the NFL as the Miami Dolphins defeated the Baltimore Ravens 22-10. And in Thursday night college football action, it was Pitt defeating North Carolina 30-23 in overtime.
Tonight's schedule on the Gridiron High School football round 2. In Class 6A, Brentwood is traveling to Summit. Ravenwood will go to Collierville. In Class 5A, Columbia Central heads to Green Hill, and Page hosts Nolensville.
In Class 2A, Summertown travels to Riverside, while Forest hosts Lewis County. In Class 1A, second round play, Cornersville travels to McKenzie, and defending state champion Fayetteville hosts Dresden.
In NCAA football action tonight at 5 o'clock, just a few minutes from now, number 5 Cincinnati will be taking on South Florida on ESPN2. If you've got some time before the high school games, you catch a little bit of it.
Catch at least a half.
At least.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
NBA action tonight. Memphis is hosting Phoenix at 7 o'clock, and on Saturday they will travel down to New Orleans for a 6 o'clock tip. Not sure what – Bally will probably have those. I just don't know which version.
Preds on Saturday hosting Arizona. That's a 7 o'clock puck drop. Again, not entirely sure of TV plans. Probably on Bally. Look there first. NCAA action on Sunday. Hoops. Tennessee takes on visiting East Tennessee State at Thompson Bowling Arena. That's a 11 a.m. start on the SEC Network. At 7 o'clock Sunday night on SEC Network Plus, Texas State visits Memorial Gym to take on the Commodores. And Sunday.
Is Mike Davis still the coach at Texas State?
He was at Texas Southern.
Oh, that's right. They're all the same to
Wrong
me.
TSU. Yeah. Sunday, NFL action. Speaking of staying hot, the Titans look for their 5th straight as the Hoodats come to town. New Orleans at Nissan Stadium, 12 noon, CBS.
That's going to do it for your Friday Rundown. He is Mike Davis is now the coach at Detroit Mercy, the Titans.
Remember them.
That's interesting. That name is one that UAB fans will remember and think about occasionally. We have a really good show today. Obviously, Andrew's here. We're going to talk about the Titans. We're going to talk a little bit about the Predators. We're going to talk college football, as we always do in the second hour. But we have a special guest today. We don't typically have a guest on Fridays, but sometimes, you got to shake some things up when availability hits. And we have my childhood best friend is going to join us on the show. And normally it's like, who cares about your childhood best friend? But Matt Mitchell of It's a Southern Thing is going to join us, and if you've seen the SEC roll call videos on Facebook, they're hilarious. The Bless Your Rank. We'll visit with him, and he's going to talk SEC football with us and tell us exactly what we can expect from Saturday's action. Top stories. Mo, I almost forgot about this today. I said, JP, what are we going to talk about? Top stories, It finally hit me. Oh, we got that one thing. And this is certainly interesting. Van Buren County girls basketball coach Tyler Sapp was relieved of his duties 3 days ago, which was about 1 week before the season started, after leading his team to a 24-3 record last year and earning Coach of the Year honors in the region. Or the district, I'm not sure. I guess district. He was fired on, Monday? Tuesday?
Monday.
And has been reinstated as of yesterday. So.
Before he could even file unemployment, right?
That's what we were talking about. Did they fire him as just the coach? Or did they fire him as a teacher as well? I don't know. But apparently, the reason he was let go, and this is coming from Sapp, he alleges that administration told him they wanted a female coach for the girls' basketball team. So what did he do? He filed suit for sexual discrimination.
There will be lawyers.
3 days later, he's coaching the Eaglettes again.
You know why, don't you? Because when he filed that suit, everybody involved in his firing was called in and said, y'all
have messed up now.
He's getting ready to own Van Buren County Schools.
And he had the case of all cases. Every lawyer in America would have been lined up.
Folks were lining up, and they don't even know where Van Buren County is because I don't. But it's like east of McMinnville.
Well,
so there you go.
That
narrows it down, doesn't it? Yeah.
Let's see. Van Buren, it's close to Warren County at least because the Warren County Sports Authority is who reported this.
Yeah. McMinnville is the county seat of Warren County.
So.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Apparently, Van Buren County Director of Schools, Cheryl Cole, is the former girls basketball coach at Van Buren High School.
That's not ideal. Oh, it's over there by Campaign.
Yeah.
Because that helps, right? What about Welchland? Does that ring a bell?
So, according to Upper Cumberland Sports Nation, not to be confused with Upper Cumberland Reporter, by the way, but the meeting in which he was informed of his termination was with Sapp, Cheryl Cole, Van Buren County High School Principal Katina Simmons, and Vice Principal Drew Campbell. Athletics Director Dustin Sullivan was not in attendance at the meeting, but heard of the termination from the coach after the fact.
They didn't even they didn't bring the AD. How's the AD not part of this?
Because he wouldn't have gone along with it, maybe?
Probably not. That's exactly what it was.
Like you said, he was told that they needed to have a woman in that position. And that's That's about as cut and dried as it gets right there. And as you said, the 30-year-old coach led his team last year to a 24-3 record.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. Winning both the District 5A regular season and tournament championships. Over 5 years, 86-65. So, you know, you running around firing coaches with 5-year winning records. I mean,
and
shoot.
So there's definitely
he could have gotten a job, I do believe, had he decided to leave.
Right now, though, probably not.
Well, probably not. Well,
and that's the thing is, and do you want to stick around in that school district after they just? I mean,
I guarantee you,
it's all going to be awkward.
I guarantee you, he won't be there next year.
Oh, there's no question, zero question. He will apply for every job there is in the state
in a 100-mile radius. Yeah. So.
Oh man,
yeah, that's tough. But
glad that he's back for his sake, I guess,
well,
and for that team, because trying to look, we went through this with a month before this, a month, 6 weeks before the season.
A month, yeah, 39 days.
39 days before the season started with the football coach.
Can't imagine
7?
a week. Yeah.
I mean, 8 days, really? If you start on Tuesday, can't see that one coming.
Yeah.
So
cooler heads have prevailed in Spencer, Tennessee, apparently.
there you go. All right, real quick, Mo, got to talk a little Braves baseball as you are wearing your Braves postseason hat. Sean Kazmar, the Crash Davis of the Braves organization, has announced his retirement after 17 professional seasons.
And a ring.
17 years has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Say he's going to get a share. How long was he up?
Maybe
10
2
days?
weeks. Yeah, maybe 2 weeks. He ends his Gwinnett Stripers career as the all-time leader in games, hits, runs, RBIs, and total bases, none of which are likely to be challenged because he has 308 runs, 296 ribbies, and 973 total bases.
How many games?
That's a good question. They did not.
How many years?
He tallied 657 hits in 750 games.
750 games. Now, typically they play 142 to 144 in a season at the AAA level. So that's 5+ years at least. And that's if he played every day. Good Lord.
I'm just
So 6 years at the AAA level, 6 years with one minor league club. That's really wanting to play, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to play baseball for a career. And you know what? If you have the ability to do what he's doing, he appeared in MLB game for the first time in 12 years this year.
Mm-hmm.
12 years, 206 days. So
After his between appearances?
Between appearances. That's insane.
That's the classic I'm going to play till they tear the uniform off of me. Kudos to him.
Kudos to him. Glad to see him get that ring because he deserves it. And I'm excited for the rest of his – because I'm sure he's going to be a coach. I'm sure he's going to end up coaching somewhere,
Well,
right?
I mean, he's probably going to follow in the footsteps of Brian Snitker. In 30 years, he may be in the dugout somewhere.
He may be.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about some local pro sports, Preds, Titans, all kinds of stuff. Stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today returns after this.
But some kind of madness is swallowing me whole. Yeah.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Covering the teams you care about. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Once again, live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton. Here's Chris Yao.
Hey, come on back. What's going on, Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today? Thanks for joining us here on 1017 FM WKOM in Columbia, WZYXradio.net down in Franklin County. Of course, all of our friends on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, thank you to our loyal watchers. Big day yesterday, guys. Biggest audience we've ever had on Twitter. So, well done. Thank you all for watching us. We appreciate it. Got some impressive professional sports to talk about here because, guys, the Nashville Predators, and again, you know, we're a little busy, so we don't get to keep up with the Predators nearly as much as we want to. But this is a team that we certainly did not see this coming. Over their last, 9 games, they're 7-2.
They kind of got out to a slow start, didn't they?
Well, yeah, lost. I mean, they started 1-4 before this 7-2 run, and didn't look great doing it. I mean, not like there were a lot of blowouts. They lost 4-3 to Seattle, 3-2 to Carolina, 3-1 to New York. Gave up 6 to Winnipeg, but Winnipeg's a heck of a ball club or a puck club. So, you know,
Club.
But here is what's crazy is, and kind of what upsets me more than anything, Matt Duchene, who was essentially useless for the last 2.5 years, has turned into the best player on this team.
Scored the game winner in overtime last night. Not last night. What, 2 nights ago?
He scored.
Was it last
I
night?
think it was last night, yeah.
Well, he scored the game winner in overtime 2 nights ago. He scored
Because they won 4-2 last night, right?
Right.
Okay.
He scored 2 goals last night and had an assist. He
Dang.
he scored 2 goals on 3 shots last night.
That's efficient.
He's got, let's see, he scored 1 goal against Dallas on 1 shot. I mean, and that was the game winner in overtime.
So maybe he should be taking more shots.
Oh, last night was overtime. We beat Dallas 4-2. So yes, it was the game
Oh,
winner in
okay.
last
All
night's
right.
overtime.
There we go.
But even still, I mean, where was this guy when we had our window, when we traded for him, needing him to be this guy?
He just needed to settle in.
I mean, every Predators fan in the area was calling for him to be traded, cut, whatever we could do to get out of it. And now
And not just cut off the roster necessarily.
get cut. I mean, people were certainly using his name inappropriately over the last couple of years.
It's one of those classic situations where you bring in a big name player, pay him a lot of money, doesn't really do anything. The fan base turns on him, and then all of a sudden, here's the Matt Duchene that this franchise has wanted for years. I know this fan base has wanted to go after him for years.
Austin Riley effect.
Skating around thinking,
Yeah.
how you like me now,
Right.
all right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's so crazy. It just, I'm happy. Don't get me wrong.
Better late than never.
And
I mean, if he's here, he may as well play well.
And St. Louis is 8-2-2 on the year. We just handed them their second overtime loss, which, of course, they get a point for. But we're only now a point behind.
Better 8 points than 2.
That's right. I mean, that was what. Did you see what I tweeted last night?
Mm-mm.
I said, give me 2 points. I need 2 points. Had to give them the Nelly
So
treatment.
you can get to stomping in your Air Force Ones, huh? There you go.
Oh man, but I've just been really impressed by the way this Predators team has, and they looked like trash in the first period last night. Came back, ended up getting it to overtime, winning the game. Of course, anytime you can go to Dallas, and you see I'm wearing my Preds gear today, and for nothing more than it's warm.
Warmth.
But also they're on a 2-game win streak.
Now's a good time to wear it.
They've won 7 out of 9. Seems like a good time to wear it, especially when you can go to Dallas. The Chicago loss kind of threw me off though, because they had just fired their coach.
Yeah, that team's in a little bit of disarray.
Yeah, the not just the team, the franchise. I mean, and then they just fired their coach in the first game with the interim coach, which that's how it always goes, right? The first game of the interim coach, you all rally together and you get the win, right? Unfortunately, we were on the other end of that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for when we get some time to slow down and actually get to watch this Preds team play. I mean, it's really been a lot of fun keeping up with them the last couple of years, because I wasn't really a hockey guy until I moved here, and obviously Game 6 of the Stanley Cup in 2017. That if you were in Nashville at that time and you're not a Nashville Predators fan after that,
I don't know what you're doing with your life.
I can't help you.
Yeah.
I mean, because that was an electric atmosphere, and that's what turned me. I mean, I literally, we drove from Nashville home, and I watched that game on TV because I was like, this is awesome. And then they ended up losing, so there's that. But anyway, Preds, tied for third, 1 point out of first in the division. So,
Well, and
on
clearly
the
it's
Discover Card Central Division.
Clearly it's a long season, and nobody has won or lost anything in 5 games. But it still, a 1-4 start doesn't give you a whole lot of hope, unless you're a Braves fan. So, it was kind of easy to think, okay, here we go again with this bunch. And like you said, I don't think 7 of their last 9 was expected coming out of that, but sure is nice to see.
Definitely is. and I mentioned this earlier with the the NBA, you've got the Grizzlies who are leaning heavily on star guard Ja Morant. But I have to. I wish I could play. I wish I had JP play this because Miles Bridges throws down a dunk a couple nights ago against the Hornets, and the commentator said "Yowza," and I was like, I just need to get that clip just for me. Like,
There you go.
Yowza. But Oubre had 37, but the Hornets beat the Grizzlies. They've got Phoenix tonight, and anytime you're playing Phoenix at this point, they're a pretty good ball club. Obviously, Chris Paul, they're coming off that finals appearance last year. John Morant with 26.5 a game, though. That's solid.
That's not bad.
I hate that guy, though.
You got to let it go, bro.
Well,
Seriously.
In every conference, there are always certain players that get the benefit of the doubt. Even in the NBA, there are certain players who just get the benefit of the doubt when they go to the rim or whatever. If they miss a shot, it must have got fouled. And so, I get it. Protect your stars. So I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad at him, I guess. I guess I'm just mad at the idea of officiating that does that, because that's quite annoying. Especially when you're the team on the other end of him getting the benefit of the doubt at the end of the game.
Well, I mean, if ever there was a player in the Ohio Valley Conference that was going to be protected, it was going to be him.
Zero question. And, he has proven that doesn't matter where you play.
If
They
you
gonna
can
find
play,
you.
they will find you. Period.
In the NBA. That's not always true for high school players necessarily.
No.
It can be, but it's not always true. But if you're playing in the NCAA,
I think it's more true
they
than
can find you.
not.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there are going to be some who slip through the cracks.
Well, there's always going to be some that slip through the cracks. Chris Rowland being a prime example. Just signed a couple of days ago with the Tennessee Titans to their practice squad. This is a kid who I thought had Southeastern Conference ability when he was playing at Ravenwood, but he was 5'8", and so
That's the most annoying part of
oh,
all of that.
Oh, between him and Andrew Bunch, man. If Bunch had been 6'2" instead of 6 foot, and I mean he still played at Nebraska. But it's frustrating to watch sometimes some of these high school kids that can play, but because they don't hit the right measurables, and it's not that they get overlooked, folks just won't look at them, So
Yeah, you can't overlook someone if you're not looking at all.
yeah,
And that's frustrating. But, again, the NFL, if you can play, they'll find you.
yeah,
Tennessee State didn't matter. I mean,
yeah.
kudos to that kid for sticking it out
Mm-hmm.
and finding his way onto a couple of different NFL practice squads. Over the years.
I'm looking forward to seeing how that situation progresses with the Titans. I mean, he can return kicks. I don't know if he returns punts or not, but he can certainly play in the slot.
Folks at that size stature, they typically are very good return men. One, it's hard to find them.
Mm.
I mean,
Well, and two,
6'4" folks.
Well, and two, they know they have to do a lot to make themselves valuable or to make an impact on a roster. But think Tavon Austin when you think of Chris Rowland.
Absolutely. I mean, he is going to be a guy to watch for on that practice squad, because now we know the Titans have a ton of wide receivers, right? They've got wide receivers coming out the wazoo.
Tell you one they don't have. Josh Reynolds isn't in the way.
Thank goodness. Signed him as a 3, played like a 7. What are you going to do?
When he plays.
Andrew's just like, I don't need to say anything. I'm going to get in trouble. You can say it's okay. We agree with you.
It's just unfortunate, really, because he comes into a team looking to be a number 2, probably, and then you sign or trade for Julio, and then all of a sudden Chester Rogers starts playing better, Marcus Johnson starts playing better,
Westbrook Akine starts playing
Westbrook
better.
Akine starts playing better, even Cam Batson.
But,
is
I
doing
mean,
a little
here's
bit
the
more.
thing, though. You can't come onto a team looking to be a 2. You
Right.
have to come onto a team and be a 2.
Right. And from all reports that I've heard, it just wasn't a fit. He didn't seem like he wanted to be here. Kind of was just one of those little loner, quiet types, not really participating,
you know,
always last in practice, rotation.
And that's kind of one of the things that is unique about this Tennessee team is it feels like, much like the Braves, they really feel like a close-knit group of guys who
Yep.
just have fun together.
Yep.
Which probably makes someone like that stick out even more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I wish him the best. I mean,
You wish him the best in Detroit.
In Detroit, which
Poor guy.
which is unfortunate because it was sounding like the Rams were trying to snag him back onto the roster, but then Detroit, just being awful, gets first dibs.
Well, and I imagine they feel like he and Goff probably have some
They
kind
play
of
together. I
chemistry.
think there's some front
Smart.
office or coach that's on the Lions now that worked with Josh Reynolds, so it could work out. But you go from what was it? Von Miller said went to bed like 4-4, woke up 7-2. Well, he went to bed 7-2, woke up like 0-9, which is
It's not the way you want to wake up.
no.
That's
But best wishes to him. So
good. I hope it works out.
yes,
Feel free. Glad you were here and could, we at least saw what you had to offer the Tennessee Titans. It wasn't what we needed.
thank you for your 10 catches.
We'll take them.
See you
He
later.
did have 10 catches?
He had 10 catches.
I didn't realize he played long
No.
enough to have 10 catches. Who were they against? Because I didn't see him. Must have been against the Jets. So
There was a few. He also
Yeah.
had a drop against the Jets too, but
there you go.
is what it is. Let's keep talking about the Titans when we come back. What do y'all think?
Let's do
Sound
it.
good? All right. More Titans on the other side of the break. Of course, you got Matt Mitchell coming up at the top of the hour and college football. We will go through our picks in segment 5 and 6. So come back. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day returns after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER.
Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
From the Blue Raiders to the two-tone blue, covering the teams you care about. It's only on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back in Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Mo Patton, Chris Yao, JP Plant on the controls, Andrew Moore in studio with us as we get ready to talk about his favorite professional sports team, the Tennessee Titans. I assume it's your favorite. I'm just throwing it out.
They're all right.
Speaking of teams who have won 7 or 8 of their last 9, Tennessee Titans come in 7-2 on the year, getting ready to take on the New Orleans Saints Sunday noon, CBS. The Trevor Siemian led.
Former Titan great Trevor Siemian.
Oh, wow, Titans legend.
That's right.
We do that with Braves players all the time,
Yeah.
like guys who played, for 10 minutes.
Right.
Braves legend Vinny Castilla. I mean, just, stuff like that. But I read a stat earlier that if the Titans win Sunday, the chances of them being the number 1 overall seed in the AFC are 66%.
Yep.
So obviously this is not a must-win game. But boy, the next 4 weeks certainly feel like no reason the Titans shouldn't keep winning.
I guess Sunday, the game, if we lose, hopefully not, if we lose, at the end of the week, we'll still be standing at number 1
That's
in
right.
the playoff seed. But
Thanks,
it would
Baltimore.
Exactly. It would help a lot if we could win Sunday and just take another step away from everybody else in the AFC. That would help so much. And just the remaining schedule.
Because the bigger you can make your cushion with Derrick Henry out,
yes,
the better off you're going to be. Because at some point, you feel like not having somebody like that is going to have an adverse impact.
Winning Sunday helps for any slip-ups that might come with the remaining of the
rest
of
of
the
the
season.
schedule, yeah.
There are the only two games that it even looks like, the Titans could struggle in are two of the three road games, and that's at New England.
Yep.
And the only reason that that's a potential struggle is because it's at New England and
Right.
it's November 28th, and then in Pittsburgh for the same reason. It's December in Pittsburgh.
Those would be the two games that I would say make me the most nervous. New England because it's in New England, and also Mike Vrabel has struggled against rookie quarterbacks through his time
That's
in
true.
Tennessee. And Pittsburgh because just Tennessee as a whole has just struggled to beat Pittsburgh since they were the Houston Oilers. So, yeah, those are the two games that I'm most worried about.
I tell you what, though, after last night, I think you have to be a little bit concerned about that Dolphins game. Maybe they caught lightning in a bottle last night. Maybe they caught Baltimore on a bad night. Maybe all of that. But they did win.
Well, they also gave everybody the blueprint on what to do defensively, and that is blitz defensive backs.
Cover zero, send everybody.
Cover zero,
Everybody.
send everybody, and make
And
LJ make a play.
and hope you can get there before he can get it out.
Yep.
He doesn't read his routes fast enough to be able to get it out. If you send more than they can block, you're probably going to give Lamar Jackson trouble.
And we kind of showed that 2 years ago in the playoffs.
True.
Didn't last year.
Well,
It wouldn't
Well,
have mattered. We could have
it
sent
wasn't the
12 last
scheme.
year and still not gotten there.
Yeah.
going back to the Ravens real quick, I kind of think that they're a little bit of a fraud this year. I mean, they could have easily lost to the Lions. They should have lost to the Colts. They should have lost to the Vikings.
And so it caught up to him.
It caught up to them last night.
On the road. What are they? No, they were at home.
No, I think they were in Miami, weren't they?
I don't know. Miami was wearing teal, so
Well,
I don't even know if that means anything anymore.
they're still a good team,
I
but
never know what that.
No, that was at Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still a good team, but maybe a little bit of a fraud this year.
Well, speaking of teams that are a little different than we expected, this Saints team, before the season, Mo said they're going to give Tampa Bay a run. Now, had Jameis Winston not torn his ACL, they probably do give Tampa Bay a run.
Right.
I mean, at this point, though, it's find Kamara and don't let him beat you.
Well, right before the show started, they are preparing. The Saints are to potentially play without Alvin Kamara on Sunday.
Well, I don't know who they're going to play then.
Well, that's why you bring Melvin Ingram. Is that his name?
No, Mark.
Mark Ingram. Thank you. Melvin Ingram's the
Former South Carolina linebacker.
So that's huge. I mean, I'm a little worried about the defense. The Saints have a really good defense, but the thing I'm most worried about is Jerome Boger is the head official for this game, which the same guy, if we go back 2 years, allowed an illegal hit to the head to Khalif Raymond that it didn't lose us the game, but it sure helped us lose the game.
Yeah, it certainly did not help.
That's what I'm most nervous about. I hate any game that he calls for us. It never seems to go well. But there's something I've been dying to talk about this Titans team.
Go for it.
And we'll play a little guessing game here. If you guys had to guess how many players have been on the Titans' active roster so far this year.
53-man roster?
With 53-man roster, 46 are active on game days. How many active players have been through 9 weeks on this team?
I want
Upwards of 75.
Yeah, I was going to say 84.
77. 77. So active players, 46. That's, 31? So that's pretty much.
Yeah, Mo was right on it.
That's
He
Mo.
was, yeah. Out of all those players that have missed, those injured players, I have the stat right here. Through 9 weeks, top 5 most games missed by injured players. Tennessee, by a 20-point margin or 20-game margin, 160 games missed by injured players.
Oh, goodness.
So
And that's the most by 20?
by 20. By 20. So
And they're still
winning.
the number one team in the AFC.
They are still winning. So that's why I'm starting my Mike Vrabel is the Coach of the Year campaign.
Well, hopefully your Mike Vrabel is the Coach of the Year campaign goes better than our Alex Anthopoulos is the GM of the Year campaign, because clearly that fell on deaf ears. And I mean, they've done much of the same thing. Vrabel has had to retool from week to week,
Yes.
basically. Anthopoulos rebuilt an outfield on the fly in July and won a World Series. Hopefully we'll get the same result.
I hope so. It just kind of goes to show how good of a coach Mike Vrabel is and how good of a general manager John Robinson is. I know we talked earlier in the year that this
he
could be a
can't
make or
draft
break.
offensive linemen, but other than that,
He can't, but I mean, you look
outside of that, he's pretty good.
rounds 2 through 7, free agent pickups, undrafted free agents.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Well, I
Guys,
mean, he's
Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah.
he's better than Mike Mayock.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
and there's,
Oh,
low bars, low bars. You couldn't limbo under that one.
Yeah.
so unfortunately, I won't be at the game Sunday.
Aw,
I have some work I have to get done on Sunday.
Work.
Work. Yeah.
I hate when work gets in the way of a good time.
I do too. But I think was the spread like 3.5 right now. 3.
3 minutes or 3.5? Oh, I was confused.
3.
I'm messing with you.
3 flat.
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 So
So
Basically a pick 'em.
but there's the possibility of a push because there's no hook.
That's
Interesting.
unusual. Yeah, they really think that the Saints can come in here with Trevor Siemian and tie the tie. What do they know that we don't?
well, I don't know if you knew Derrick Henry's out and Tennessee can't do anything. Derrick Henry is
The
All
entire
the
team.
yeah.
He's the offense. He's the defense. He's the head coach. He's the security at the stadium. He's the owner of the team. Tennessee is nothing without Derrick Henry. Even
I've heard.
though they
I've heard.
just proved it less than a week ago.
Andrew,
Yes,
I detect sarcasm.
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Did you realize? And I heard this the other day. I guess it was Stephen A. Smith trying to walk back his comments. But
On Tannehill,
yeah,
as-
he did mention that.
As he does usually.
But this is the worst QB rating that Tannehill has had since 15. Like
Wow.
it ties the worst of his career at like 89 something.
So I know it's
so
not-
maybe Stephen A. is right then? Is that what
That's
you're saying?
basically what he's saying. Is like, well, hold on now. Ryan Tannehill ain't that great. Well, you know what? Ryan Tannehill doesn't have to be great. Ryan Tannehill has to do what Ryan Tannehill does, and he does it to perfection almost every week.
Yep.
Saw something on Twitter here over the last couple of days that Ryan Tannehill is still being tagged with the game manager tag. And
Okay.
That's fine.
yeah, exactly.
That's
That was
fine.
kind of what I thought. That's fine. Just keep managing.
Manage
You know,
manage us to them
that's-
wins.
Yep. If a game manager quarterbacked us to a 7-2 mark, we're good.
I'm fine with that.
Keep managing.
I'm absolutely fine with that. Really impressed with the defense. We've been seeing bits and pieces of that defense maybe coming together in each game. They've had some bad games, but there's also been flashes. It's just really nice on Sunday Night Football, the biggest game that the NFL can put on the regular season. Prime time. Everyone's watching. That defense just kind of comes together. Jeffrey Simmons throwing grown men around like I was up there blocking against him.
How about Kevin Byard?
Kevin Byard should be.
Or
Byard.
Keith
Byard.
Byard.
I saw that too.
Old
That's-
Keith
that's
Byard.
annoying. Kevin Byard should be considered top 4 for runner of Defensive Player of the Year this year, in my opinion. I know everybody wants to give it to the guy that has the most sacks, but the way Kevin Byard is playing this year,
Well, I mean, if Kevin Byard doesn't play the way he plays, then Jeffrey Simmons isn't leading interior defensive lineman with quarterback pressures. I mean, just
Right.
stuff like that.
At the same position, by the way, that Aaron Donald plays.
and just on a one-game basis, played a lot better than Aaron Donald did on
In-
Sunday. Danico Autry, already after 9 weeks, is probably the best free agent pickup this team has ever had. And going back to the running backs real quick, it's going to be running back by committee, but I'd say give the ball to Deontay Foreman. I think on limited carries looked the best running the ball. Give him the ball. Let Adrian Peterson come in. Give him some
A
rest.
little change of pace.
Jared McNichols for your passing screen game. It can be done.
Mm-hmm.
We can.
I guess my concern in a running back by committee is, are there tendencies attached to each of those running backs that other teams are going to pick up on defensively?
I think so. I mean, even some people are already noticing or have been saying, Adrian Peterson runs high. I don't really know much about Deontay Foreman too much yet. I do know he changed his number to number 7 this week.
He did.
Number 7, Titans great Billy Volek. Number 7. So I mean, it's going to be an exciting. We don't like Billy Volek.
No.
Yeah.
We're pretty non-committal on Billy Volek. I mean, I don't think he was really here long enough to create any kind of a feeling one way or the other.
It's going to be a fun game. I think Titans can get the win, and it's going to be a fun rest of the year. Let me tell you that.
Guys, I just want to add that, we hear Vrabel talk about complimentary football. If this is not the epitome of that this year, something he's been preaching since he got there, it's come full circle with that. So that's why it's amazing to watch. A lot of fun to watch. The best, quote, team in the NFL.
The definition of next man up is the Tennessee Titans.
No question. Stick around. When we come back, we've got Matt Mitchell of It's a Southern Thing. You may not know exactly who he is, but you will when we get him on. Stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day returns after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
This is Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Sports talk like it used to be. You know, like your crazy uncle used to listen to. Only better. Here's Chris and Mo.
Welcome back in Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Young, Mo Patton, JP Plant is on the controls. That is the voice you just heard. And Andrew Moore, the intern, hanging out with us here on a Friday, as he likes to do. Man, it is always a good time to bring you guys sports talk like your crazy uncle used to listen to. It's always Andrew's not heard some of these new
I haven't.
intros, so this is interesting. Every Friday, though, guys, you know what that means. Top of the 5 o'clock hour means it is Fast Stop Friday. And you know what sounds good on this Friday, or, well, any day? Pulled pork barbecue. And you can get it at Fast Stop. They serve up one of Tennessee's favorites, tender pork barbecue sandwiches for a limited time at Mama Jane's Kitchen and all of Fast Stop's deli locations. You can get one of these sandwiches for just $2.99. Sign up for the Fast Stop Perks loyalty program and make that sandwich earn points for you to buy even more in the store or to save on fuel. That is a delicious deal. Do not miss it. $2.99 for a pulled pork sandwich. I mean, if you're on the go and you're just driving through, like that's something that I feel like, you know, you could probably.
I'd buy two.
$2.99.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. I'll tell you what. The guy we're about to talk to, I don't know if he's ever thought about eating gas station pulled pork, but I can assure you that if he did, he would have 6 or 7 different gas stations, and he would put them in order of which one tastes better. He started as Matt the Cat. He's now an ostrich. You've seen him ranking fast food biscuits on the internet, and you've laughed at his comedy on It's a Southern Thing sketches and when he plays the role of SEC football teams in the weekly SEC Roll Call. He's a Webby Award winner and my childhood best friend. Please welcome to Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, Matt the Ostrich Mitchell.
What's up? How's it going, y'all?
Yeah, you can use that anytime. Just cut that and, you know.
I know I like that. That was really good. I had to stop taking notes. I was trying to, map out how to find this $2.99 barbecue sandwich, and I stopped. I was very impressed by that. That was a good intro. That was great.
Man, what's going on? How you been?
Just staying busy, man. It's things are rolling. Things are happening.
You were in the volunteer state this week.
I was up there briefly. We were shooting a new series for the Southern Thing. Don't have a name for it yet, but it's basically just a travel show where we kind of show you some of the more unusual spots you can visit in the South. And we went to Cleveland, Georgia, to the Babyland General Hospital, where they have Cabbage Patch babies. They're born underneath a tree in a building. It's very weird. You'll have to watch the episode if you've never experienced it.
There's zero question I'm watching this episode. That's happening.
It's something. And then we went up to Rock City, which is beautiful, but then there's also some really weird places in there too. So excited about that. And those will come out about a month or so.
Well, at the top of this hour each week, Matt, we talk SEC football, and you do this very well. You react on SEC roll call, and to be honest with you, SEC roll call has been hilarious all year long. I mean, I showed it to these guys, and they were just, cracking up because you pretty much hit the nail on the head most of the time, especially with Florida, because, well, when you're a Florida fan and you get to make fun of your own team for being whatever they are right now, it's easy.
A disappointment, yeah.
I hear you. But, this week is kind of a disappointing week in Southeastern Conference football schedule. There's maybe 2 or 3 games that are even worth paying attention to.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, there's the thing is, looking at the schedule, I think there's a few that, there may not be a lot on the line in these games, but I think that they'll be very entertaining. I really think Mississippi State-Auburn is going to be a heck of a game just because Mississippi State seems to play everybody close, and Auburn finds a way to keep it close, usually just by screwing up, and that's a home game so for Auburn. So we'll see how that goes. And I don't know, for something in me, and maybe I'm just ready to see them fall, and it must be something because I'm going to find myself rooting for a close game, maybe an upset here for Tennessee, Georgia. Something's telling me this is going to be closer than people think. I don't know.
Don't get my hopes up, man. Don't get my hopes up. I've already conceded this one.
You should. I mean, that's the thing. When you play Georgia this year, you should just go ahead and mentally prepare yourself to lose badly. But I don't know. I just see Tennessee just keep surprising people this year, and I think that they can keep it close. They can definitely keep Georgia from covering the spread of 20 points. They're definitely capable of that. I would just love to see a close game with Georgia. If that would be great to see at some point this year.
Wouldn't it though?
Yeah. It's fun to see a team other than Alabama dominate the regular season, but I mean, at least give us some entertainment. Don't just make this. They're going out here like it's work, like it's their job, just to absolutely destroy every team, and they're doing a great job of it. But I would like to see something a little entertaining for once when Georgia steps on the field.
Matt, as you talk about this Georgia team, they've had a little off the field. I don't know if turmoil is the right phrase for it, but some issues. And, maybe with something like that, maybe Tennessee kind of catches them in a good spot for Tennessee to, like you said, cover the spread.
Yeah, definitely. I guess this would be the week to do it. No, not a knock to Tennessee, but it's one of those games that you could definitely overlook. Maybe they're looking ahead a little bit to Charleston Southern Buccaneers. Why did they even allow them to play them? I don't know. God bless that team. They're in for a doozy next week. Go ahead and put them on the prayer list. But yeah, maybe this is it, because this is truly the last real challenge. No knock to Directional State. They got to play next week, and then Georgia Tech, which I'm surprised still has a football team. I mean, this is their last real challenge before the SEC championship game. So,
Alabama hosts New Mexico State at 11 a.m. on the SEC Network. Also at 11, you can catch that Mississippi State-Auburn game. We hope it's not 3-2. That's on ESPN. Sanford, Florida at 11 a.m. on SEC Network Plus. Matt, being from the Birmingham area and being a Florida fan, this is not ideal for you.
No. I don't think that Florida will lose this game. But, I didn't see us losing to Georgia, was it Southern or State 6-7 years ago. So, I don't know. Anything is possible with the Florida team. But, I think they win this. They desperately need a win here. Mullen desperately needs something to keep his job. I'm surprised he still has one. But yeah, I expect Florida to win that one. And maybe come one step closer to bowl eligibility. What a sad thing to say in November.
Mo has been on the Dan Mullen's on the hot seat all year long train, just about. And I'm curious, do you think that Mullen has either checked out or has just been looking for other jobs? And that's, obviously the news that came out about the administration and him not being on the same page, that kind of threw a wrench into everything.
Yeah, my understanding is he's not recruiting.
Clearly.
And hasn't been for some time, apparently.
Disappointed, couldn't get the NFL job, head coach job. He just clocked out. And I don't understand why nobody else. To me, just to hear Florida fans still try to defend Mullen kind of blows my mind. Because we've seen where we're headed. We've seen this downward trend before with Muschamp and with Zook. McElwain. It's hard to come back from where we're headed. So if we don't pump the brakes and do something, it's going to be even harder to get back out of this again. We're slipping further and further from relevancy every season because of this. So I don't know. I hope they snap it, get it together. But maybe they just don't have a coach out there they think could be a good replacement right now. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm done trying to guess what's going on in their head.
Well, Coach O has a chance to get him.
He's available.
Well, and here's the thing. Well, he's not available, actually. He can't coach he can't be a head coach in the SEC for what,
2 years?
2 or 3 years. But, but tell me, this interim Coach O is a pretty good coach. If he doesn't have anything to lose, you better watch out.
Oh, he is a what a character. I hope I hope that, I mean, with 2 years here, if he doesn't go to the Nick Saban rehab for assistant coaches, I hope that he lands like an announcer job or like a color analyst. I mean, he would be perfect. Actually, maybe not like the prime spot. Like, do this whole, like, you know how they give the Mannings like their own special Monday night feed. I want an own channel that's just the Coach O feed that just give me, like, maybe CBS could bring them on. And what a great alternate, like, version. I don't have to hear Gary Danielson. I can hear Coach O call the game.
Man, I think there's some value in that. I really do. The alternate broadcast for that
would be fantastic.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Hey, Matt, we are speaking with Matt Mitchell of It's a Southern Thing. You can see him ranking fast food biscuits and barbecue sauce and everything else on It's a Southern Thing on Facebook. Go check that out. And I'm not going to ask you to rank the SEC teams because, well, that's just a struggle. But if I give you the SEC teams, can you give me a one-word quick? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you tell me these teams? When I say these team names?
Ooh, we'll try.
Little word association here.
Yeah.
Word association. All right, here we go. We're going to start at the top. Alabama.
Oh, disappointing.
Mississippi State.
Wild.
Florida.
Oh, gosh, I've already used disappointing, haven't I? Failure.
There you go. Auburn.
Gosh, one word for just being a mental mess.
You never know.
Yeah, I can't. It's very hard to pin Auburn down with one word. They've got a lot of issues.
Here's an easy one. Georgia.
That's 2 words. I was going to say funless domination.
Dominate. Yeah, there you go. How about
joyless domination?
I like that.
Yeah. Arkansas.
Oh, Arkansas is bacon.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Here we go. South Carolina. We'll stay in the breakfast food area.
Yes, fried chicken. I don't know. I'm just starting to get hungry here. South Carolina is like a zombie. The team you thought was dead, and now they're back. They seem to like have a little bit of life in them now. Right at the end. Zombies.
You guys are going to be bowl eligible. Why do you say that's like a bad thing? All right, and finally, JP's favorite, Vanderbilt.
Vandy. Existing. That's
barely.
Wow. Still part of the SEC.
You know it.
Still here.
Matt, we're looking forward to it. Congratulations on the finalization of your pilot sitcom. Excited to see that. And hopefully that will get picked up by somebody that's not the WB because they canceled Reba. So
that's true.
Don't go there. But yeah, man, we appreciate you taking some time with us today. We look forward to the SEC roll call after Saturday's games. It's going to be a lot of fun, man.
Absolutely. Anytime. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. All right. Matt Mitchell, It's a Southern Thing. When we come back, we're going to give you our picks. We've got 10 games to go against the spread. So JP just continuing to dominate. At least Andrew's in the house to tell us if the quarterback's hurt. We've got that. His phone is not dead.
Is his phone charged?
Yeah, his phone's charged. He's good to go.
It's enough. It's charged enough.
All right.
All right, we'll be right back on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Stick around after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Covering the teams you care about. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Once again, live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton. Here's Chris Yao.
Live from the Lee Company studio. Except it's not really live. If you haven't noticed, it's like 5:30 when you're listening to this, and it's still daylight in our studio. So we always tape on Friday because, well, fact is we got to get to ball games. And Mo's got to go to Mount Juliet and try to
North Mount Juliet
and try to find a Green Hill High School. Good luck to you, sir. Yeah,
You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't forget, high school football is in round 2 of the of the TSSAA state playoffs, and that means it's Friday, and you can listen to TriStar Friday Night Live. JP will be on Facebook, Main Street Murray Facebook, Main Street Preps Facebook, all of those, starting at 6:30 with George Plaster and Murphy Fair, giving you all the scores and reacting to scores from around the state of Tennessee. Going to be a lot of fun. He's on until 11. We will join him at some point. I will join him. Mo will be on the phone. I'm not sure what portion of the show it will be, but catch us around 10:15, 10:30 because it's always a lot of fun when we get a chance to have a little roundtable discussion. But, yeah, looking forward to tonight on TriStar Friday Night Live. Right here after the ball game, the Summit game will be on 101.7. The Columbia Central Lions on 103.7. So, check us out. JP, speaking of,
All right.
time to hand you the keys because we are taking a trip.
All right. Updating where we stand. Mo, what did you do last week?
I was 6-4 last.
6-4. Did you type that in?
I did.
You did. Okay, so this is up to date. All right, so Mo was 6-4 a week ago. His total 46-54. Chris 3-7 last week, which is one better than the week prior. So you're getting better. 34-66 overall. I went 6-4 last week, and my total now 53-47.
The sad part
Yep.
here is that last week I went, and my entire strategy was go against your gut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See how that worked out.
Yeah. Okay.
Worked out about like me going
With your gut.
with
With
my
your gut.
So
Yeah, the
it
George
does-
Costanza didn't work.
It
huh?
really doesn't matter what I do.
All right. All right, let's start off Big Ten. This is 11 a.m. kick on ABC. It is number 6 Michigan at Penn State. Michigan 8-1, Penn State 6-3. And Michigan just a 2.5-point favorite on the road at Penn State. So almost a pick 'em for this one, the Nittany Lions. Mo, you're to my left. We'll start with you.
Almost a pick 'em. And based on A, the Nittany Lions being at home, and B, I don't think Michigan's very good. I'm taking Penn State.
Okay. All right.
In these big games, I like the home team. I know Penn State's going to be crazy, so that's why I'm taking the Nittany Lions.
Well, I had picked Penn State, but now I'm just like, I don't know.
Don't
you
overthink it.
You guys seem to be really confident. I'm going with the Nittany Lions too, but I'm not nearly as confident as you guys sound.
Well, I mean, it's a little easier to be confident with a 2.5 point spread either
That's true.
way. I mean,
All right. In case you were wondering what I think about this game, only 32% of the people picking are on the Nittany Lions.
100% here, apparently.
100% here, because I'm going with the Nittany Lions too. Plus 2.5. Penn State will cover and probably get the win. Probably get that win. All right. Up next, we go to the Big 12. This is the Fox Big Noon game, 11 a.m. Central. Number 8, Oklahoma, undefeated. The Sooners at number 13, Baylor. These rankings, by the way, the college football playoff rankings. Baylor 13th, 7-2, coming off their loss to TCU. And Baylor getting 6.5 points at home to the number 8 ranked Sooners. Mo?
I'm going to go with Oklahoma. I think 6.5 is a number that they can cover. If it was more than that, I'd have to really think a little harder about it, I think. But, I mean, that's a touchdown. And I like the Sooners outright in this ball game. So, I mean, yeah, I'm taking
All right.
with the 6.5.
6.5 for the Sooners. Andrew?
We have the same thinking here again. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go with Oklahoma.
All right. You just said you like home teams in big games.
I do.
There's a difference between Baylor and Penn State, though. the atmosphere. At Penn
Yeah,
State,
the
not
atmosphere.
quite.
Yeah, I don't think the atmosphere at Waco and the atmosphere at Happy Valley
Oh,
are.
no, you got Chip and Joanna Gaines in Waco.
Yeah, so I don't know what that. I
Well,
mean,
Chip can get a little crazy, right?
that's about it.
Chris, what are you thinking there?
I actually took Baylor in this game,
Okay.
mainly because I don't think they'll win. So
All right. So 59% of the picks are going for the home team, Baylor,
really,
to cover that. So a home dog. That's within my 20% window, that mid-range where I could go either way. I'm going to go with the majority in this one. I like Baylor to cover coming off a loss. I think they're ready. I think Oklahoma's finally going to get snake bitten or
Sure would be
bear
nice.
bitten, I guess, would be the case. So I think Baylor covers in this one. All right, up next, we go to the Big Ten, back to the Big Ten. And this game is 2:30 on ABC. It is number 19, the Purdue Spoilermakers. Wish I could take credit for that. 6-3 at Ohio State, 8-1, and the Buckeyes giving 19.5 points at home. They're giving 19.5 points. They're favored versus Purdue.
You know, Purdue, what they've done this season is well documented. I think they beat Ohio State in the shoe 2 years ago. So I really feel like Ryan Day is going to have these guys loaded for bear or Boilermakers, as the case may be. I like Ohio State and I like them big. I think 19.5 is coverable for them in this one.
I think Purdue scares them for a little while, but then just Ohio State being a better team just takes it away at the end of the game. So I'm going to Ohio State.
Covering the 19.5.
It's a big number.
It is a big number.
It's a huge number. That's
3 touchdowns. But I'll tell you this, the line has since moved to 21.
so a lot of people liked them at 19.5 then, huh?
Clearly.
I think Ohio State wins by 2 touchdowns.
So you got
So you're
Purdue.
taking
So you got Purdue covering.
Yes.
He's
Okay.
got Purdue.
All right.
All right. We've had some spirited discussions on this show about the college football playoff. If Purdue wins this game, they're in my top 10
And deservedly so.
and might be in my top 8
If they win this
within
game.
striking distance, even with 3 losses. I'm telling you,
That would be 3 wins against top 5 teams.
3 top
3.
5 wins. I mean,
Well, now, whether or not those teams should have been in the top 5 when Purdue beat them or not is,
But they were.
yeah, they were.
and,
Yeah.
At that
and
point they
still
were.
and still are in the top 7, all 3 of them. If they were to win this game, I don't
If
think
they
I
were
don't
to
I don't
win
think
this game.
I don't think Ohio State would drop out of the top 10 if they lost. I mean, they'd probably be 10th, but I don't think they'd drop out of the top 10 from 4. So interesting, but I'm just saying I picked Purdue to cover in this game, but the only reason I did is because I think Ohio State's going to cover. Because I
So
think
you're going with the George Costanza again
I am.
after you just came on first and say that it didn't
Well,
work?
here's the thing: is I feel like law of averages.
Oh, okay.
If I just keep doing this the rest of the year, it's probably going to work out.
Yeah, if you stay consistent with something, eventually it's going to come back to you.
So
Yeah, to
I'm
where
just
you're
going to
gonna
go
work.
through the rest of the year with this
Okay.
this idea.
Okay.
Probably not going to work out, but whatever.
Okay.
So
What have you got to lose?
What have I got? Exactly. I'm so far behind. I'd have to go 10-0 like every week from here on
Mm-hmm.
out. So I'm going with Purdue to cover, but Ohio State does one thing really, really, really well, and that's rush the passer, and that has been Purdue's downfall this year. So that's where I'm going. I'm going with Purdue, but
Purdue to cover.
yeah.
Okay. 25% of those picking are picking with the home team. A lot of folks are going with Purdue. Obviously, they're the hot team right now. They're the kind of flavor of the month, so to speak, and deservedly so with what they've done, beating 2 top 5 teams. But it just feels like this is where in Ohio State coming off a close win last week against Nebraska, it just feels like Ohio State's going to blow this one open, and I think they get it done. I think they cover. So I'm going with Ohio State. All right, up next, we stay in the Big Ten. It is Minnesota 6-3. Row the boat at Iowa, number 20, 7-2, and the home Hawkeyes giving 6.5 points. They are home favorites to the Gophers. Mo?
Like Minnesota to cover, not necessarily to win.
Okay.
What was the spread again?
6.5.
6.5. I've picked Iowa twice this year, and I think they've lost both times. So I'm kind of nervous about this. I'm going to roll dice. Iowa. I don't think Minnesota covers the spread.
So you're going with Iowa
I'm going with Iowa.
to win
yes.
more than by 6.5.
Yes.
This game, by the way, 2:30 on the Big Ten Network.
So the line has moved from 6.5 to 4.5, which means folks clearly think that, or at least Vegas is seeing some money come in on the Hawkeyes. I think my concern here is that Minnesota, much like Mississippi State, you never know who you're going to get. Iowa too, but Iowa has finally started to pick it back up after a couple of disappointing losses. It's like, okay, now we're not in the limelight. We can just be who we are, right?
Yeah.
So
Under the radar.
I'm going with Iowa to win this one and to cover the 6.5. So there you go.
All right. 49% of those picking are on the Hawkeyes. This, again, right in that middle window, that 20% range. I'm with you, Chris. I think Iowa is going to be more like the team the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season than they were in those 2 losses. So I like Iowa to cover in this one. Minnesota's they're playing linebackers at running back right now, so they've had a ton of injuries in the backfield. So I like Iowa to cover. All right. Finally, in this first of 10 picks, we're at the halfway point with this one. We go UAB Blazers, 6-3 at the 6-3 Marshall Thundering Herd. This is a 2:30 kick Central on CBS Sports Network, and the home team Marshall favored by 5.5 points. Mo?
I'm trying to figure out how this game got on here.
I like to throw a little wrinkle,
Well,
I guess.
I think was it last year? It was the Conference USA Championship game. So, when UAB won the Conference USA Championship, Mo?
How many teams you gonna root for?
All of them against Middle, just to give you a hard time.
Got you. Now I understand. I'm going to take UAB to cover here, just because this Marshall team isn't your older brother's Marshall, I don't think. Did Middle beat Marshall earlier this year?
I think they did during the blackout.
Yeah, there we go. So
Marshall's lost twice this year in weird games. So,
I'm going to go with the Blazers, which means they'll probably lose just because they're the Blazers.
let's hope not.
Yeah. Taking UAB to cover.
What do you think, Andrew?
I have no idea.
I don't think Andrew knows where UAB is.
Yeah.
I really have no idea.
Just pick one. It's cool. Go with the green.
No
team.
one's keeping score for you.
Yeah, go with the green team. Yeah.
I'm gonna UAB. UAB.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. UAB is the most penalized team in the country. 127 yards a game.
That makes sense.
Awful.
Jesus.
But they keep winning football games. I like their defense. I think Bill Clark and he gets his guys up for games like this, and they cover on the road 5.5. So that's what I got.
All right, 37%, only 37% picking the Blazers to cover this one. Both teams 6-3. For that reason, I go with the Blazers.
The Blazers.
UAB to cover the 5.5. Up in West Virginia. Huntington, West Virginia. All right, 30 seconds there, Chris.
Yeah, UAB led by former Maryville star quarterback Dylan Hopkins, by the way. So, yeah. Anyway, when we come back, we got 5 more games to pick, so stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today returns to the Lee Company studio right after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
The sports talk show you've always wanted. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. From preps to pros. Live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back in. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, bringing you up to speed on this weekend's college football action. If you missed any part of the show, you can always go back and watch it on YouTube or Facebook, or you can watch it on Twitter as well at SM_TN Sports. Of course, on Facebook, you can find us on Main Street Murray, Main Street Preps, and on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Facebook as well, and Southern Middle Tennessee Sports on YouTube. Just look it up. SM-TN Sports Today will get you on YouTube as well. We talked to Matt Mitchell earlier about college football. We talked with Andrew Moore, who is in studio with us, about the Tennessee Titans. We talked about the Predators. We gave you the exciting top stories, including Sean Kazmar retiring, and of course, we had a interesting story out of Van Buren County speaking about girls basketball. So that one, if you missed it, it's worth listening to. That's a heck of a story. But we have more high school football coming up right after this. But before we do that, we throw JP the keys once again, and he takes us around college football for some picks.
Righty then, here we go. We'll start for our second half of this. Notre Dame number 9 in the college football playoff rankings, 8-1. And I think they're kind of flying under the radar as much as Notre Dame can at number 9. Just throwing that out there. They're at Virginia, 6-3, and the Wahoos at home are getting 4.5 points to the Irish. Mo, what do you think of this one?
Not much. I was a little disappointed. I worked with Virginia a couple of weeks ago when they played BYU, and it came up a little short, kind of left a little residue. I'm going to go with Notre Dame to cover here.
Okay. By the way, this game at 6:30 Central on ABC primetime. ABC.
Of course, it's on ABC. It's Virginia. Never mind. I don't want to get to the Notre Dame hate, but that's ridiculous. This game is in primetime on ABC.
Yeah, because ESPN doesn't get Notre Dame all that often.
So they have to do. I guess they
when they get the opportunity.
When they get them, they put them in prime time. Doesn't matter who they're playing, because people aren't tuning in for Virginia.
No, I get it. It's just frustrating because
they could be playing Vanderbilt and get a prime
so
time
much
game.
better game, so many better games out there. But yep, eyeball is all that matters.
I agree exactly with what Mo just said. Notre Dame and the cover there.
So here's the thing. Everything that can possibly go wrong for Cincinnati this year has gone wrong. I don't think that trend ends because Brennan Armstrong, 3,500-yard passer, 27 touchdowns, 8 picks. Now they can't run the ball for anything. They're awful running the ball. But Virginia covers the 4.5.
19%. That's it. Are on Virginia to cover. Only 19%. 81 going with Notre Dame. So because of that disparity, based on the template that I'm using, that
has worked for you very well the last couple of weeks.
I'm going to go with Virginia to cover. Notre Dame, the last time they were in Virginia, at Virginia Tech, it was a nip and tuck game. I don't remember what the final spread was, but Notre Dame was able to win, but Tech, I believe, covered. It was close. This could be close, but I think Virginia will cover the 4.5. All right. We stick in the ACC, and we've got number 16, NC State. At number 12, Wake Forest. NC State 7-2. Wake Forest 8-1, coming off their loss to North Carolina last week. This is at 6:30 on the ACC Network. Wake favored at home in Winston-Salem by 3.5. Mo?
I watched most of that Wake Forest or North Carolina game last week, and that game was closer than I had anticipated it being. Wake Forest is better than I realized they were, and I think they bounced back from that loss this week. I've got Wake Forest covering.
Yeah, I agree.
See, I think North Carolina State is also better than we think they are. And because of that, I'm going with NC State.
All right. 37% on NC State on the Wolfpack. Not a whole lot of support for them. They don't think they can go into Winston-Salem because nobody goes into Winston-Salem and comes out alive. Well, I think the Wolfpack are going to nip at the Demon Deacons.
You know, the FPI actually has NC State favored. FPI.
Yep. I like NC State. I think these are two pretty evenly matched teams. You know, I could get bitten with a field goal win. A 3-point, that hook could bite me, but I like NC State to cover in this one. All right, we head out west for our next game. It is Nevada, 7-2 on the season at number 22 ranked San Diego State, 8-1. This is 9:30 p.m. Central on CBS Sports Network, and San Diego State are home dogs, 3.5 points. Nevada favored on the road against a ranked opponent, Mo.
Yeah, my picks today don't necessarily bear it out, but I do kind of like home dogs, especially when one of them's ranked and the visitor is not. So I think I'm going to take the Aztecs in this one.
Yeah, that rarely happens too, by the way. Home dog, where the home is the ranked opponent,
Yeah.
and the visitor's not. So
This is another tough one, mainly because I haven't gotten to watch a lot of college football this year.
And if you are, you're not watching Nevada and
Right.
San Diego State.
There's that.
I think a ranked team, being the underdog, it's kind of one of those back against the wall situations, so I'm going to take San Diego State.
you know who the coach at San Diego State is?
I do not.
It's Brady Hoke, isn't
Brady
it?
Hoke,
Is it
former
really?
Tennessee
Is it
interim.
really?
Again.
Yeah.
Well, he went from San Diego State to Michigan and then fell out of grace, and that's how he wound up on Butch Jones' staff.
Mhm.
And so now he's
Made his way
back
back.
where it all started. Yeah. So I'm
Good for
still
him.
taking San Diego State.
Despite that, Pac-12.
Despite that, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I took Nevada in this one. Clearly, Vegas knows something that we don't. So I'm going to go with Vegas here.
That's a wise decision. 17% of the picks are on Nevada. Only 17%. You know, you figured, as most reasonable red-blooded Americans would think, a ranked home team as an underdog, you're going to take them, right? Well, who knows what the reason is, but Vegas, now maybe because of the close proximity. Maybe Vegas is a little biased
They
to
could
Nevada,
be. I don't know.
to the Nevada Wolfpack. Who knows? But I, too, like Nevada, and this will be the second straight time San Diego State, a ranked home dog, loses, as they lost to Fresno State. I believe it was last or 2 weeks ago. So I like Nevada in this one to cover. All right, Pac-12, we stay out west. We've got Washington State. The Cougars, 5-4, travel to number 3 ranked Oregon, 8-1. The Ducks are 14.5-point favorites at home. This game will kick off on ESPN at 9:30 Central. Pac-12 after dark. 14.5 points. The Ducks are giving at home.
I'm taking Oregon to cover, and if I knew Jarrett Garantano was starting for the Cougars, I would be even more locked into that pick.
Is that where he went to Washington State?
Yes.
Oh, man, give me Oregon.
Well, he's not playing.
He's not
so-
playing.
Okay.
Okay. But, still, give me Oregon. But if he was playing, really give me Oregon. Yeah.
Really, exactly.
Man.
All right, here's the deal. Interim coach, nothing to lose. Washington State is one of those weird teams. They've had an up and down year, but they played some really, really good football at times. They're coming off a big win over Arizona State last week. A little bit, like I said, interim coach, you never know what you're going to get. I got Washington State to cover because, hey, it's Pac-12 after dark, and that just means weird stuff's going to happen.
You're learning, Chris. Well done. Only 31% of the picks are heading on the Cougars. Oregon moves up to number 3. Moving up in those top 3 or 4 spots has not been good for a lot of teams
No,
this
it has
year.
not.
Washington
The number
State,
3 spot specifically.
Washington State is playing well of late. You mentioned that win at Arizona State a week ago. I agree. The interim coach, it has brought this team together with Rolovich and the way that he was fired for not getting vaccinated per a state mandate. And the Pac-12 after dark, all of those signify a Washington State cover. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be really close, and Oregon will win, but Washington State will clearly get within that 2 touchdowns and a hook. So I like the Cougars. All right, we'll end in the SEC as number 11, Texas A&M, the Aggies, travel to Oxford and the Grove to take on Ole Miss. Both teams 7-2. Ole Miss ranked 15th in the college football playoff rankings. This is the 6 Central ESPN game, prime time on the mothership, and essentially a pick 'em. A&M on the road, a 1.5-point favorite. So Ole Miss a home dog by a 1.5. Mo.
Again, another home dog. And again, taking this one. I like Ole Miss.
I don't like Ole Miss, but in this game, they're at home. Yeah, I'll take Ole Miss. Yeah.
I'm with you guys. I think Matt Corral is very good. Very, very good.
I think Calzada's very good, but I think Calzada is young, and at some point he's going to make a mistake.
Mistakes.
And Ole Miss's defense is better than it gets credit for.
Tony the Land Shark being phased out at Ole Miss, by the way.
That's unfortunate.
That's
Really?
unfortunate, yeah.
Where are they going to go with this time?
I think the Bear is going
Back
to
to
stick
the
around.
Rebel Black Bear?
I think the Bear is going to stick around.
Well, I
but
mean,
the
I guess
Land Shark
you got
not.
Rebels, you got Black Bears, you got Land Sharks. I guess maybe they got too much.
Yeah,
They
it's a
might
lot.
have gotten rid of the wrong thing, though.
They may have. Who knows?
So you got the Rebels too?
I got the Rebs,
Rebs, Black Bears,
All right.
but not Land Sharks.
not Land Sharks.
Those picking have 56% are on the Aggies, 44% on the Rebels. All right, so that's in my window. A&M coming off a pretty impressive performance against Auburn. I think they've got a new lease on life, up to 11. They have the win against Alabama. They got the number 1 ranked recruit committing verbally last Saturday. The Aggies are riding high, and I think they get it done in Oxford. I'm going with the Aggies. Going with the Aggies.
All All right, just
There you
being
go.
contrary, aren't you?
Yeah, Chris, 30 seconds, take us home.
All right. Well, stick around because Mo, JP, and myself will be back on bringing you the best in high school football coverage statewide from, do we have, oh, where's it at? There it is. TriStar Friday Night Live. Over your shoulder, JP. Look at there. It is what it is. Really excited for it. Y'all stick around. For JP, Mo Patton, and Andrew Moore, I'm Chris Yao saying have a great day and stay cool, Columbia.